Guys, coming in at only $68 retail, this is by far the best value lens on the market right now, and I'm going to show you why. This is the 25mm 1.8 lens by Pergear. Now, if you don't know, Pergear actually is a distributor for a lot of large companies such as 7Artisans. If you've seen my channel before, you've seen that I've done quite a lot of reviews on those lenses as well. I'll actually post one up here so you can check it out. But they decided to actually come out with their own lens, and that's what this review is going to be all about. We're going to be taking a deep dive on this little guy, and I'm going to show you what I like, what I don't like, but overall, I think you'll be impressed with the results. Let's go ahead and start with the exterior and the overall build quality. It is completely made out of metal, much like its competitors on the 7Artisans side. It's got a nice weight to it, coming in at 195 grams. It has 5 elements in 3 groups, which isn't anything to write home about, but the image quality is actually quite impressive. Now, your f-stop also ranges from f1.8 all the way to f16. Now, one question I get asked a lot down in the comments when I do reviews on budget lenses like this is if there is anything automatic about it, such as autofocusing or anything like that. This is completely manual. It has a declicked aperture ring. Mind you, it is extremely smooth. I feel it has the perfect amount of drag, and it's just very satisfying, believe it or not, just to pick your aperture that way. One thing also that I noticed is the problem that I ran into with a lot of other budget lenses is for some reason on either the focus or your aperture ring, there would be some sort of grinding, or it would get harder to turn at certain points. Whereas this one, honestly, don't have an issue throughout the whole pool. It is completely smooth, keeps the same drag throughout. It's amazing. Like, I love this little thing. Now, Pergear was actually able to cover a wide variety of mounts as well, such as this one, Sony. They also have one for the Fuji as well as Olympus. So you got a pretty wide spectrum of APS-C cameras that you can use this lens on. This is a 25mm, so it's about a 37mm equivalent on a full frame, which for me personally, like the kind of stuff that I shoot, which is a lot of portraiture, I think this is the perfect focal length for me. And I actually plan to do a full-fledged portrait photo shoot with this, so stay tuned for that, and I'll be posting some of the results on my Instagram as well. But without further ado, let's actually go ahead and jump into the image quality now. Now, in my time with this lens, I noticed that having it wide open, it was definitely more prone to flares. However, unlike a lot of the other lenses, I absolutely love the flare on this. It's almost more of like a nice haze, if you will. Here's an example, or here's actually a couple of examples, just to kind of give you an idea. This is kind of like the flare that I really do enjoy my images to have. I feel it does give a little bit more depth. Just kind of something to know. I know not everybody's going to be a fan of that, but for me personally, I think it's pretty cool. Now, all these images were actually shot on the Sony A6000, which, if you know, is quite an old camera by today's standards, so the image quality may not be the sharpest thing ever, but as we zoom into these images, you will still be able to see that this does produce quite a sharp image, especially right here in the center. For example, you could take a look at this orange. As we zoom in, it is very, very sharp, and you see a nice, beautiful fall off of bokeh just right after that focus point. Here is also a beautiful picture I took of the floor. You can see it's super sharp right where I focused, and then it has a really nice fall off as well. But if you look on the corners, this is what I kind of thought that was a little bit interesting. This is wide open at 1.8. If you look at the corners, it does get quite soft and there is some distortion. But look at this image now. Of these mailboxes, I did stop it down, so I believe we're at f8 now, and you can see, one, everything is so much sharper. across the entire frame. There's a lot more detail in the corners, and there's barely any vignetting. Now, another thing that I really do like about this lens is its minimum focusing distance. It's only about 8 inches, so it does let you get real close to your subject while still being able to get that tack sharp focus. And you can actually crop into your image thereafter and kind of get a little bit of a macro looking image as well. All in all, only at 68 bucks, I think this is an amazing bang for your buck. The image quality, I think, is fantastic, really sharp there in the center. You will get some softening around the edges, but remember, for 68 bucks, I can live with that, that's for sure. Especially as fast as it is at 1.8. Honestly, nothing can beat it. The build quality also, like, all good things to say. I'm gonna leave a link down below in case you're interested in learning a little bit more or even purchasing it. I also want to give a quick shout out to Pergear. They were nice enough to send me this. This isn't sponsored. They just wanted to know my honest opinion on the lens itself. And, well, here it is. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.